Federal employees have some breaking news right now. This is just an exclusive with Reuters. But federal employees, I think you need to hear this. Just days after the major privacy lawsuit was filed against OPM, new reports are stating that Elon Musk's team has locked federal employees out of key data systems.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are diving into a developing story involving the US Agent for International Development, or Usaid, and Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, commonly referred to as Doge. Let's get into it.
Federal employees have some breaking news right now. This is just an exclusive with Reuters. But federal employees, I think you need to hear this. Just days after the major privacy lawsuit was filed against OPM, new reports are stating that Elon Musk's team has locked federal employees out of key data systems at OPM. Hi, I'm Sean Southworth, a federal employment attorney tracking these developments closely and wanted to amplify this for everybody. I think this is an important development, and here's why. According to this report, if true, Musk's team has took control of OPM and restricted access to computer systems containing personal data of millions of federal employees. This includes the Enterprise Human Resources Integration System, which stores social security numbers, birth dates, home addresses, pay grades, and performance data. Some senior career employees purportedly can no longer access these records, raising serious concerns about oversight and cybersecurity. Why this matters: no one outside Musk's team knows what's happening with the data. There's no transparency, no accountability, and no clear oversight. Federal employees are in the dark. This could have major implications for job security, privacy, and future employment actions. So what can you do about this? If you're concerned about how your data is being used, you can use resist.bot. Go on the website to resist.bot to contact Congress and demand transparency. As this develops, feel free to follow me here on TikTok. I'll be breaking down updates as this unfolds. Again, resist.bot is a great way for people to make their comments known. Don't have to be a federal employee. Anyone who's concerned about privacy rights of federal employees should feel free to use, again, it's resist.bot, which essentially allows you to take your message and share it among all of your congressional representatives pretty easily. I think that this is an important deal. In 2015, right, there was a security breach. Just given kind of what I've known and heard, I think that this is something that people should be following. So thank you everybody for your attention, your time. Hope everybody has a great rest of the day. Thank you.
What Elon Musk and Doge are doing is considered a data breach. If you look at the definition of a data breach, that's exactly what it is. Elon Musk and Doge have gained access to the Department of Treasury's payment system. That means they have access to all of our information, all of our very vital personal information, and they have access to our federal tax returns, Social Security payments, disability payments, Medicare payments, and Medicare assistant information. And mind you, the Deputy Secretary of the Department of Treasury just resigned. He resigned essentially because of this reason and this reason alone. And his reason for resigning, the entire reason, is because he knew that this was overstepping his boundaries. And now Doge and Elon Musk are acting like the Department of Treasury's Secretary of Defense at this point. Now, Elon Musk and Doge claim, now mind you, they're not a government entity by any means. They claim that the reason why they've gained access to this information, all of the information through the Department of Treasury, the payment system in its entirety, is because they want to assess the wasteful spending that's being approved in the Department of Treasury, because they were told essentially, or allegedly, that the Department of Treasury was given the okay to approve payments that would have otherwise been either flagged for potential, fraud, or to give permission to approve payments that were going to illegal entities or immigrants, and you get the point. But either way, this is not okay. He literally has the ability to put a stop on federal income taxes going out. He has the ability to put a stop on disability payments, Social Security payments, and Medicare. If he sees that there needs to be further investigation on these payments to whatever reason he claims, it could be along the lines of, hey, there's too much money going out. We need to assess all of this. And he can put a stop to do an investigation on any of our money that's going out. So if you haven't filed your taxes yet, I suggest you do that shit like ASAP. Like not today, but like right now. And in the end of this is a data breach. We should be able to sue for this. We should be able to take this to the highest level of legality. I don't even know. Like, we should be able to take we didn't give consent for this information to go to someone who is not a government entity. He's not an authorized individual. He has no credentials to access our information that we've entrusted to the Department of Treasury. Like, what the hell's going on?
We have some breaking news. 2 top security officials at a federal government agency have been put on leave by Donald Trump after they denied Elon Musk access to classified information. This is insane. The USAID's director of security and his deputy are the latest senior officials at the agency to be put on administrative leave. And here's what happened. Employees for Elon Musk's Doge task force went to the USAID agency last week. They were on site and they clashed with these 2 security officials because these employees were seeking to enter a secure area of the agency's offices to get at classified material. So these security officials thought it was highly unusual that employees of a task force that is not an official government agency, that's led by the wealthiest man in the world, who doesn't have an official title in the federal government, hasn't been elected by anybody, has government contracts of his own, is trying to get access to.
With all of the tariff talk going on, I feel like that's a distraction from Elon Musk forcefully and hostilely taking over sensitive records within the United States, both at the Treasury Department, the GSA, and at OPM's Electronic Human Resource Interface, or Enterprise Human Resource Interface, which holds all of the records for all federal employees worldwide. Now, why he needs access to the Treasury Department files and servers, which provide payments to millions of Americans every year, who knows? But he has no clearance. He couldn't get the security clearance for it. So Scott Bessent, the new Treasury Secretary, gave him that clearance and in turn forced out the individual who essentially controlled this whole system at the Treasury Department. Again, why he needs it, what he's doing with it, and what the reasoning behind is, who knows? But it can't be anything good. And these tariffs were rolled up to today to cover up whatever he's doing. That's my personal beliefs. That's my little conspiracy theory. Who knows if it's true? But we need to be focused on both the tariffs and what Elon Musk is doing. Again, like always, call your senators, call your representatives, let them know. Investigate this, get rid of Elon, get rid of Trump.
Okay, this is one of the craziest stories of the year, hands down. The Trump administration has removed security leaders from USAID after they refuse to be transparent about what they're actually doing. And this is fascinating because if you don't know, USAID claims to be bringing humanitarian aid to foreign countries. But in reality, it is one of the main arms of the US empire. This is often how the US government funnels money and support to their preferred groups in various countries. For example, USAID funneled a bunch of money to Juan Guaido, the wealthy US-backed puppet politician in Venezuela, which is obviously not humanitarian aid. It's an effort to overthrow the Venezuelan government. So I'm not surprised at all that they don't want to be transparent about where they're spending their money. I'm sure they're more worried about the public finding out than they are Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Although I predict they'll make some kind of backroom deal to allow the organization to continue business as usual. It's just funny to me that Trump is throwing such a hiccup in the machinery of US imperialism. This is why so much of the establishment was against him, because they know he's harder to control than, say, Joe Biden. Personally, I hope they abolish USAID, and I don't care who does it. I just don't fully trust old Trump and his Silicon Valley oligarch friends to do that for us.
2 top security officials at USAID were placed on leave after refusing to give Elon Musk access to classified information. Mind you, USAID is the U.S. Agency for International Development. International, meaning ties with other countries. And these 2 security officials were doing the right thing by not allowing a civilian, Elon Musk, who's an illegal alien and buddies with Putin and President Xi, to have access to classified information about said other countries. Don't forget that felon Trump has mishandled classified information and has even transmitted that information to other countries. We know this. Musk and Trump created this Doge to fire federal workers and gut government programs. Now, they're barging into restricted areas, grabbing classified info, and punishing officials who follow the law. These two security officials weren't doing this to be jerks. Elon Musk did not have the correct security clearance. But that didn't stop him. Eventually, Elon got in anyway. Because he's the president. Here's the thing. How do we know these Putin lovers aren't putting our national security at risk by sharing that information with, let's say, China? For example, Elon Musk has a factory in China. Part of the agreement to have that factory there is that he will share classified information from other countries. We know this too. Why are we letting him do this? Maggots, this is what you voted for. Why? A similar raid happened at the Treasury Department, where they accessed sensitive Social Security and Medicare data. How is that reducing the size of the government? Security clearances exist for a reason. If the government allows billionaires and felons to snoop where they don't belong, what's next? Should we be okay with unqualified people handling national secrets? No. You know, the reason why we have the Second Amendment is for times like this. We need to start exercising that right and decorating the steps of our Capitol with these traitors. Do not comply. Believe in truth. I'll be back with more of it.
So no one is talking about Elon Musk. So I see where he got control of the Social Security federal payment system. I'm still confused on how. Yeah. Please, somebody help me understand that. They just actually just give them control of that because they're over Congress, or are they the new team that came in? Like, I'm just so confused on that. Yeah. Somebody enlighten me, please, because this is crazy. This is the first time I ever heard of a team wanting access to a system like that. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has started to happen. The United States government's roots in the rule of law and in the democratic process is breaking down. It is spiraling out of control. And these are the early warning signs. After USAID, the United States Agency for International Development, was essentially gutted over the last few days by the Trump administration, and all of the work that it had been doing has been put on hold. This is now happening, and it goes beyond the ability of the United States to help international countries. The Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon Musk, which I must remind you is not an official agency of the United States government, simply went to USAID and demanded information that requires a specific high security clearance, when the security officials that by law are required to refuse handing over information to people that do not have that level of clearance, those administrators were put on leave. I want you to clearly understand the gravity of the situation because it goes beyond politics. It should trouble people no matter what side of the political aisle they're on. The United States gathers and manages certain information that it considers at certain levels of security and are not shared with just about anybody for a specific reason. It jeopardizes the safety of America, of its citizens, and of its agents abroad. There are specific protocols that allow certain people to have access to this information. Those protocols are now unraveling. This man is not a part of the United States government. The office he leads has not been vetted or authorized by Congress. And most importantly, this person and the people behind him do not have the security clearance that is necessary to access that information. This is a serious situation, and it doesn't matter who you voted for. I think you need to take this extremely seriously because it's a sign of things to come. And if you're celebrating this, you're not celebrating the rule of law, you're not celebrating American democracy, you're not celebrating the Constitution. You're just applauding a bully doing things that are inevitably going to come back and bite us all in the ass.
And why are we not talking about the fact that Elon Musk now has access to the Treasury systems in this country? The senior Treasury official just resigned over a clash with Elon Musk in regards to these systems that Elon Musk was trying to get access to. These systems have sensitive American information, including social security numbers and Medicare customer payment systems. So there's no fucking reason why Elon Musk, first of all, has anything to do with the US government. This man was not elected into office in any capacity. And not only that, this man is an immigrant talking about other immigrants. Go back to South Africa. Matter of fact, go back to where you originated from because it wasn't there. And here we are just watching in real time Elon Musk trying to overthrow our government with Donald Trump. It started with that stunt that he fucking pulled, trying to bully Congress into getting a bill passed that he wanted. And now here we are with this man having literal access to sensitive information on all of us. There's just so much shit that's happening that stories like this are flying under the radar because we're so focused on all the crazy shit Donald Trump's doing with all these plane crashes also that are happening within the United States, him firing TSA officials. Like there's so many things happening, but we need to pay attention. So I had to bring this up because I saw nobody talking about this. And this is absolutely fucking insane to me.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack regarding the recent controversy involving Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge, and its access to sensitive government systems including Usaid and the Treasury Department. The story has sparked intense debate over government security, transparency, and the role of private individuals in federal operations. So let's break this down step by step. What actually happened? Okay, according to multiple reports, senior USAID officials were placed on administrative leave after they refused to grant Dutch employees access to secure systems. Now, USAID is a government agency responsible for foreign aid and international development programs. It manages sensitive data related to US foreign policy, humanitarian assistance, and global security initiatives. The key issue here is that Doge employees reportedly did not have the proper security clearance, yet they were still demanding access. When USAID security officials pushed back, they were removed from their position. Some sources even claim that Doge officials threatened to bring in US Marshals to force their way in. That is a huge red flag. And this isn't an isolated incident. Around the same time, two other government officials were put on leave after they denied Elon Musk direct access to classified information. This raises a lot of questions about Musk's actual role in government operations. Why does he need access to classified data? What exactly is Doge doing behind this scene? And then there is the even bigger issue. Doge gaining access to the Treasury Department payment system. This system is responsible for processing trillions of dollars in government transactions, including social security payments, federal employee salaries, and international financial dealings. Allowing an outside agency, especially one run by a private businessman, to tap into that system is a serious national security risk. Why is this a big deal? First of all, let's talk about security. A government agency have strict rules for handling classified information. Employees must undergo rigorous background checks, security training, and constant monitoring to prevent links or cyber threats. If Dutch employees don't have this clearance, then giving them access to secure system is a blasted violation of federal security protocols. Think about it this way. If you walked into a government building and demands access to top secret files without proper clearance, you'd probably be arrested on the spot. Yet in this case, USAID officials who tried to uphold those security rules were the ones who got punished. That should concern everyone. Then there is the question of oversight. Who is monitoring Doge? Now, with Musk at the helm, it seems to be gaining more power and influence over federal agencies. Elon Musk is a brilliant entrepreneur. There is no denial that he's revolutionized the tech industry with Tesla, SpaceX, and Starlink. But that doesn't mean he should have unchecked access to classified government systems. Musk has a history of taking an aggressive, unfiltered approach to business and government affairs. We have seen it with Twitter, X, where he fired employees, reinstated controversial accounts and made sweeping changes with little regard for public opinion. And now we are seeing similar behavior in government, where Doge is reportedly steamrolling security officials and demanding access to classified data. This raises a critical question: is this about efficiency or is this about control? Musk has repeatedly expressed his belief that government is too slow and bureaucratic. There is a fair argument, but efficiency should never come at the cost of security and accountability. The fact that Doge is now involved in treasury operations is particularly alarming because it means Musk's influence is creeping into federal financial system. So how are people reacting to all of this? Well, it's a mixed bag. Some Musk supporters are applauding the move, saying that Doge is finally cutting through government red tape and making agencies more efficient. They argue that the old bureaucratic system is outdated and that Musk is the only one bold enough to shake things up. But others, including government watchdogs and national security experts, are raising the alarm. They see this as a dangerous precedent where private individuals can bypass government security rules and gain access to highly sensitive data. Senator Elizabeth Warren has already voiced her concern, calling for an investigation in Doge activities. She argues that allowing an outside entity to control treasury payment systems could put national security, Medicare, and other federal programs at risk. Meanwhile, former government officials are warning that. And let's not forget the international implications. The US government relies on secure financial system to manage foreign aid, international trade and military funding. If other countries start questioning the security of these systems, it could damage America's credibility on the global stage. What happened next? Right now, the big question is whether Congress or the court will step in to stop Doge overreach. Lawmakers could introduce new regulations to limit Musk's access to government system, but that would likely lead to a legal battle. There is also a possibility that whistleblowers from inside USAID or the Treasury Department could come forward with more details about what is really going on. If that happens, we could see major investigations and even potential lawsuits. And then there is the 2024 election factor. If a new administration takes office, they could dismantle Doge entirely. But if Trump or another Musk-friendly politician remains in power, we could see Doge influence expand even more further. One thing is clear, this is not just a small political scandal. This is about the fundamental structure of government: who should have access to classified information, who should control federal payment systems, and most importantly, should private billionaires be allowed to override government security protocols. At the end of the day, transparency and accountability should be the top priority in any government operation. Whether you support Musk or not, we should all be asking hard questions about Doge's role in federal agencies. If these reports are accurate, then we could be witnessing one of the biggest security breaches in modern US history. So what do you think? Is Doge making the government more efficient, or is this a dangerous power grab? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future updates. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video.